Hey, good morning, folks. It's David Hubbell here. It's Saturday, November 13th. It's another nice, brisk, chilly morning in South Alabama. Reporting from my Mirliton man cave. As you can tell, the plant's really looking pretty well still. Despite we've been having some cycling of temperatures. But this week I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do because we're supposed to get down to 34 tomorrow night. And that's really pretty cold. I think the plant will handle it, but there's some precautions you can take. You can cover it if you put a cloth over it, but as you can tell, this is pretty immense to cover. I've done it before. And you can, or you could actually set up your sprayer as such that it constantly keeps it wet, which is probably the more convenient thing to do. And I believe we've got some articles on mirliton.org on that, so I'll try to link to that as well. But typically what I will do is these plants will last until really get the first frost, and we're kind of approaching that tomorrow, but with it being still early November, I hate to cut it back, which is what I typically do. I'll cut it back and cover it and let it overwinter. But you can see, as the old song goes, I got a lot of living to do. These plants have got a lot of new growth potential on them to get, me some more Mirliton. So what I'll probably do, just thinking out loud at this point, is I will probably just pick some of what I got, cover what I can, and I'll have to also see the duration. If it's just a brief thing, it may cause a little bit of frost damage, but the plant may still be okay. But at least I've saved a couple of Mirliton, and then I can decide from there after a day or two whether to eat them or just try to sprout them. Because I'm getting pretty close to the point where I've got some mature ones, and I'll show you in a minute about picking those. So let's start looking around. It's always amazes me, the early morning sounds here in Mobile. Sirens and trains, which I'm not really near any type of train station, or train tracks I should say. But I guess on the cool, quiet days, you can sound travels a little further. So anyway, you can see we still have these Mirlitons, and so one of the things maybe is, when do you pick a Mirliton? So what you may want to think about is, when you got it, if you planted it as a seed Mirliton, how big was that seed Mirliton? That'll give you a good indication about what size you expect your Mirlitons to get. Typically what I've done, because I know mine, I know they'll get to be 3/4 to a pound, and that kind of roughly translates to, when you look in your hand, how big is it to your hand. Now this one I'd call too small. I think it's about a week or two. So despite the freeze, I'm going to leave this one. But back here you see we've got this one. And this is a better one to get to for the video. See how big that is? That fits in my hand pretty easily. That is the right size. So you can kind of gauge by your hand size. So all you got to do to pick it is just simply go up here and just simply go like that. I don't know why. There you go. So now you can see better. That is what a full-size Boudreaux Robert Mirliton looks like, and that's how you know to pick it. So you finally get to see it up close. It's got the deep furrows, as I talked about. I'm getting the sun. But you can see it's got some nice deep furrows. Nice light green to it. And if I let it long enough, the seed will come out from back here. So anyway, this is a good one. I'm satisfied with this. This is perfect for stuffing. You just cut it, you boil it, or cut it in half, boil it, scoop out the flesh, and fill it with, mix that pulp with the Trinity, and some shrimp or crab meat, or both, and maybe some breadcrumbs, other spices, and just stuff it back in there and cook it. And I've got a couple of videos on there on David J. Hubbell website on how to do that. So let me see if I pick any more. And you can tell this one's even bigger. So if I wasn't worried right now about my frost, I could take these two that I picked and put together a nice little meal for one or two. So I'm going to see how many, and I'll show you when I get finished. These are pretty much the ones we've been watching the last few weeks. This may be all I'm going to pick this morning, but you can see 4 nice specimens here. Nothing better than a nice cool morning to come out and pick some Mirliton. So I'll see if I find any more, and I'll probably pick 1 or 2 that are a little smaller than this tomorrow, only due to the fact that I might be concerned about the frost. Like I said, typically I would save the 3 of them, maybe not the first 3, but just to conserve and hopefully protect my investment going to the future, because seed Mirliton are pretty difficult to find unless you know somebody, and that's what hopefully knowing Mirliton.org will help you know somebody. So let me see what else I find. Well, folks, that's really all I got this week. Like I said, our videos for the Mirliton pronunciation are still going strong. We're going to put a button on Mirliton.org in the next few days so people coming to that site can learn how to say it. We were up to 8 releases thus far, and like I said, we've still got about 30. Today we got Chef Jeremy Langlois at Homa's House and Gardens. He's doing one, and we had a lot of good ones this past week out around the New Orleans area. So I think this next week I'm going to try to get out some toward the river parishes, and maybe toward Lafayette even, with some of our volunteers. And I really appreciate all their help. It's been wonderful to have these folks embrace this project with us. So as always, check out Mirliton.org, Mirliton.org. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you'll know when updated videos or new videos come up. And if you have any questions, of course, you can leave them in the comment section below or email them to me at rpcajun2r@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe David J. Hubbell YouTube channel. And check me out on Mirliton Man and Mobile on Facebook. So that's pretty much all the ways to get up and follow. I'll let you know when that podcast comes out, and if any other materials come out that folks would be interested in. I'll probably grab my ladder here, get up top and see what I can find, because it's hard to do that one-handed with the camera. And so maybe I'll take a parting shot of what I end up with. So anyway, thank y'all for showing up this week, and hopefully this has been helpful. Remember to like and share with all your Mirliton loving friends, and you can buy the imported chayotes now at some of the grocery stores in the area. They will, of course, not make good plants to grow, but they will make good casseroles and stuffed Mirliton. So thanks again, and support local folks as best you can. Bye. So it's Sunday, November 14th, and since we were getting temperatures down to 36 in Mobile, I did do a quick little covering of the Mirliton. As you can tell, I couldn't get it all, but despite that, it's almost 11:30 now. It does not look like I received any frost damage to the vine. So typically, if the plant was going to get real cold for a long duration, I'd really beefed it up and put a heater and all, but this time all I did is I just threw this tarp and these blankets over, just as precaution to keep the frost off. You really should put a blanket underneath plastic. Didn't do that this time just because I didn't think there'd be a whole lot to be concerned with. So I'll uncover it if I see anything unusual. I'll show that too. But just to let you know, even though we got down from the 40s all the way down to 36 for about 3 or 4 hours, the plant seems to be okay. So I'll estimate or further look and see and make sure everything survived. Alright, so here it is all with all the blankets and all removed. Probably maybe did a slight bit damage because of the fact of just having it, a little lizard, pressing down on it. But hopefully it's just superficial, just compacting it. But I'm glad I did, because nonetheless I found even more Mirliton than I thought I had. So anyway, if you're ever faced with something similar, you know, you're probably better off erring on the side of being overcautious and taking care of your plant versus losing something that you may have a difficult time getting back. So anyway, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.